Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Daily B Show with Matty B. So, today, episode 46, it is professionalism versus authenticity. Professionalism versus authenticity. That's the one. Some big words, more than two syllables. So, today we got Marie-Clare Boothby, sexy vixen. Look, Marie-Clare, she's the queen of digital marketing. She collaborates with business owners. She helps business owners connect with their marketplace in the modern era. Okay, she's a connector, she's a networker, she's a social and behavioral specialist. She's epic. She pushes herself beyond her boundaries. She is her own guinea pig, human guinea pig, and she's known as the no bullshit social and business connector. She's absolutely epic, and I can't wait to have her on yet again and have a good old chat with her. So we're gonna get her on and have a little chat regarding. Oh shit! I just thought on something really quickly. Have a good chat about just that. So that was my first crack at really edifying someone. So I'm going to be implementing a bit of structure to the old Daily B. Okay, I wonder if I can't see request to be. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, there we go. Didn't have the request on. So I'm going to be putting a little bit of structure to the old Daily B these days, and moving forwards, I'm thinking of introducing a rapid fire question section towards the end of each episode, which will be a bit of fun. And I'm going to have a little bit more structure with regards to the theme of it. So the Daily B stands for believe in yourself, express yourself authentically, and evolve consciously. I'm watching. Can you see that I am? Okay, I can see you now. No, I can't see you. I can't see you. Can you request to join? Can you request to join, Murray? The phone doesn't have a request on it either. Is it? It's that way. I'm sure you've got it that way. Maybe jump out of it and jump back in, because I only just pressed the button to allow you to join. So maybe it just won't let you because you're already in before I press that button. Hey Valerie. Hey guys, let us know if you're watching the replay or what's going on. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's a bit new doing it in the group. Buzz. We're back. Back, baby. Yeah, okay, so Marie-Clare, jump out of the video and then jump back in. I'm pretty sure that'll work because I can see Valerie there able to do that. So I think it's just maybe because I put it on while you were still in the actual video. Happy Monday, everybody. Val, happy Monday. Hope you had a good day. Well, I got a pimple right on my nose right there. What the frickin' hell, man? This pimple right on the frickin' nose. Not even Christmas, look like Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed Matty had a very pimply nose, and if you ever saw it. I've jumped out and back in. Can you see now? No, I cannot. I reckon it's something to do with... Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Make it rain, MarieClares. No, I got a bit of frog in my throat. We can't see it. So you're grand. Yeah, good. Excellent. You're talking about my little pimple, aren't you? Oh, approve. Okay, did that work? I sent you a request. Yeah, okay, you sent it multiple times, so I've got to... Yep, alright, we'll get there. At least it's starting to come together right now on the Daily B. Zoom, boom, boom, bang. Zoom, boom, boom, bang. Okay, Marie-Clare, are you pressing it fuckloads? Because it just keeps coming up with that. Stop pressing it if you're pressing it. Okay, I'm going to exit out of that. Right, try it again, MC. Ba 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 da ba ba ba. Ba ba da 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 da. Hey Lisa. Lisa Lee. Okay, and request one request. Lisa. So I can see Lisa and Valerie there, so I can add them, but I can't add you. I was gonna say I thought it might have something to do with I'm not pressing anything. Well, maybe what we can do is, oh, Nat Dillon. I can see everyone MC except for you in the list here that I can add. What the frick? Could it be? Some tell me it's like to do with the fact that like the tag wasn't coming up when I was putting it in there. So I reckon that you haven't liked the page. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the MC.
You did
What
it!
the hell?
Oh my gosh. That was so annoying. And I mean, I know.
Oh well, depends how you choose to
We did it! Doesn't matter. We're here.
define it.
Yeah, no.
Always
I
love
can't even I can't even explain why you could see everyone else and you couldn't see me. And then I sent you the request and you're like, oh, you've sent it 100 times. I was like, no, I haven't. Weird.
Were you yelling at me?
All good. How are you? No.
I think it's so funny.
I took Sam's advice and I was just like, whew.
Woosa, woosa. Yeah, it's good. It's like not every episode, but almost every episode, it's like something happens. So the first few, or the first one even, it was just like a full echo the whole way through. And this is actually a good topic to start with, right? Because the whole fucking one was an echo through it. And then the second one, again, we stopped it. Third one, fourth one, figured it out finally. And then ever since then, it's still been, oh, what about this? Got to do that. Got to plug this in, da da da. And it's like, all right, how am I going to behave here? Am I going to show my frustration? Which, I mean, my face is pretty easy to read anyway. You can see me. But but at the same time, like maintaining that composure and, just allowing it to be and just trusting that, well, we've clearly got a challenge we're meant to face. So turn the lemon into lemonade. So, yeah, were you on when I edified you just a second ago, you sexy vixen?
Oh my God. No, I didn't hear you say that at all, but thank you. That's very sweet. And I'm blushing. That's oh no, I've got Emma messaging me. Go away, Emma. You're distracting me. It's too funny. Emma and I were talking before about professionalism versus authenticity as well. So it's really cool that we're talking about this. And now she's totally telling me what I should do to be really authentic, and I'm just going in my head, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
What's she saying? What's she saying?
She's telling us to take our clothes off on live, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Matt can do that. I'm not. No, don't. It's really unprofessional.
But for
right?
every time someone calls us out for not being authentic and not responding authentically, we need to take one piece of clothing off. What do you say? No. It's called strip authenticity. Strip their lives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's too.
So,
well.
All right. What's been coming up? Because this has been a conversation that actually came up on one this morning with someone else. Jonathan, I was chatting to Jonathan Ayers, and he was just sort of in that space of what do I do? I'm not sure. I was challenging him with the 30-day go live challenge. He's like, I don't know if it's going to push away a certain part of my market if I show them certain aspects of myself, and if I don't be my authentic self, then there's other parts of my inner circle that are going to be wondering like, what the fuck? And so I don't know if I want to even put myself out there at all because of this. So like, where's that line of sand? So what for yourself, like, how have you managed that?
Okay, well, I don't manage it very well yet, but I'm working on it. I actually did a video this morning on LinkedIn, and it was all about this. It was about how we act online compared to how we act offline. And sometimes it's a really flow thing. Like, in this case, I actually pressed record and I posted the first thing that I said, but I watched that video back and I still had this online MC about me. Whereas when I post, when I am creating video or creating content where I know that I'm just going to share it with one person or I'm going to share it with a smaller group of trusted people, I let loose and I say and I do and I act exactly how I am offline. And yet for some reason up here goes, oh, hang on a minute, probably shouldn't share that. I swore a bit too much there, or I wasn't wearing the right clothes, or, I hadn't done my hair, or whatever it might be. Like, you kind of keep it in. It's quite frustrating, actually.
Some of us do, yes.
I'm pretty sure that 99% of the population feel the same.
Okay, so if 99% of the population feel the same, and following the herd is a surefire way to an ordinary, unsuccessful life, well, not overly high achieving anyway, what would you suggest one do in that case?
Okay, I need to get rid of these comments. These people sending me messages. Yeah, I need to get rid of a layer. No.
The layer coming up.
Okay. Well, I think now I'm going to say this to myself because I need to hear this myself, all right? I think they just need to fucking go and do it. I swore! I said the F-bomb on Facebook Live.
You're not allowed to abbreviate swear words on the Daily B show. It's the only rule we've got.
Okay. All right, cool. So, you just have to. And like a news reporter, Emma. Yeah, Emma's feeling my sweats. It's so funny. I'm not changing the subject. I did a live, actually I've done quite a few lives, but I did one where my kids were coming into the room as I was on the lives, and I was just like, my God, like inside I was screaming at these children to go away, but I had to, in my head, keep it together and look really like a really good mum, and that I wasn't doing that to my children. And it's funny because later, people that were close to me, like I could see in your eyes, you were just...
You got to look like a really good mum.
Yes, right? You've got this, like, that you have to, in your head, my head. And it's just a bullshit story that I'm telling myself because, this is good because I'm telling myself all this. Because every time I have shared something which was absolutely me and absolutely exactly how I am with people close to me, it gets really well received. Everyone loves it. Everyone thinks it's great. And yet, this little voice inside my head goes, oh, hang on, someone's going to judge me. What is someone going to think? Who's going to be watching? So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's been the biggest shift that I've noticed as well. Yeah, you are. It's great. It's awesome when we answer our own questions like this.
Yeah.
Come up with our own realizations. And if you look back on my videos from 3 to 6 months ago and beyond, it was like this rigid, stiff, trying to deliver something that I thought people would want to listen to and teach something that was of value and content, and it was fucking ridiculous. Like, I could see myself like holding on so tightly and not letting go. And it's only been since I started to just like let go of that veil, step out and just give zero fucks, recognize that it's not actually about me anyway. It's about just really being authentic and sharing what's going on, where I'm at, how I feel, what I know, what I don't know. People go, shit, he's actually a real person and he's not a fucking idiot trying to be something that he's not. And I can relate to that. Most people have gone through the same shit. Most people feel like a bad parent most of the time, and they try and act good when they're in front of people because they feel like they're screaming at their kids and they feel like a failure. Like most parents, I'm not even a parent, I know most parents feel like that.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And then you think, well, why? Like, I don't want to share that because, who wants to listen to someone yelling at their kids? But they can absolutely resonate with it. And they're like, usually they're cracking up at me saying, God, you just held it together so well and you're so funny. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but it's not how I am normally. And when they are here and I'm yelling at them, they think it's great too. So I don't know. Can I share with you what Emma Field said to me this morning? Because I want you to help me
Please
unpack
do.
this, because I think it might help other people. And this is something I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
She said that I have this really great ability to cover up my belief systems, and like I can't remember the exact word she used. Basically, when I go onto a live video environment, or any video environment really, that I just trick my belief systems into believing something different, so that I actually look really natural when I'm in a different state, like different mindset,
Yeah.
like, and I can just do it so naturally. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually do that. Like, I've got this belief system that, I'm my true authentic self, but then I go and trick myself as I am speaking to just speak to how I think people want me to be, rather than how I actually am.
John McKenzie just said it's your superpower.
Which bit, John? The parenting or
So,
sounds exhausting? Yeah, fucking oath, Sam, it's exhausting. Like, Jesus. It's
it reminds me of my... Yeah, go. Actually, don't.
I was going to say, it's not something that I do deliberately, or that it comes naturally to me. So it doesn't feel like that's happening. It was just, that was her perspective on what she sees. So, and that how I can sort of just move around those things to make it however I want it to be at the time. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's exhausting. I think it's just something that I've
the natural
learned.
bullshit, Emma says.
Yeah, totally
bullshit,
right.
And
bullshitter
that's what I was going to say. It reminded me of it reminds me of when I was in young high school days, when I was just compulsively lying at everyone and everything. And it would be like instantly I could just come up with something to get myself out of trouble, or give people what they want to hear. And it's just, I created a belief around that, even though I knew it was bullshit. I pushed so deep down the fact that I knew it was bullshit, and just filled myself up with belief. It's like, and I'd tell people literally, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you that that's the way it is. And I'd say it with such conviction and believe it. It comes out so authentically, but deep down. But
mine's more like
that's
a
what I was
filter.
going to ask you.
Mine's more like a filter. Like I'll say, somebody might say something to me, and I will, there we go, naturally curve things. That's what I do. I curve it around. So someone will say something that I want to say a bunch of stuff in my head, and all this stuff goes through, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I stop and I go, that's not appropriate. And then I go, so the way that I would, and I just put this like on. That's how it feels.
So how do you feel about how necessary has receiving praise been to you in the past?
Oh, we've talked about this before. Extremely necessary. Like, it's feedback to myself is an addiction. The more I get from someone else, the more I need.
So then it stands to reason, how then would it feel, you coming up with something in your mind that's authentic, and having that feeling like, if I put that out there, I'm potentially going to stifle that positive feedback that I'm getting, and actually either get neutral or even negative feedback.
Yeah.
So from that, I mean, it makes sense that it's like a safety mechanism, or a learned behavior, to maintain that constant flow of positive feedback and stifle the negative feedback.
I think I hear what you're saying. Interestingly enough, I don't get a lot of other feedback besides the positive reinforcement feedback, but when I do, my filter still switches on, and I still deal with it in a flipped positive way.
Yeah, and I think that's the funny thing is when we do actually...
I need to turn the comments off. John's telling you to drill me. Like, I've got to turn them off. It's too distracting. He's mean.
You can swipe them if you don't want to look at it. But
yeah, cool.
He's come with love. So, but with that as well,
something else went through my head too, by the way.
Yeah, what? Go. No. Let it out.
No, I'm not going to do it. Kill her.
Professionalism, authenticity. So
Yeah, yeah.
how unprofessional is unprofessional? What's the line on social media? Yeah, she does know all the things. Of course she does. These are all things we've spoken about as well. These aren't new things.
No,
Yeah.
no, definitely. Sorry, I've missed the question. I was distracted.
How unprofessional is acceptable on social media for you?
Well, when I'm observing other people on social media and when I'm talking to other people about what they should be doing to get attention, like I say, there's no boundaries. Push them. Push the boundaries. It's all about getting attention. You need to stand out from everybody else. And if that means, you know, being offended or being offensive or swearing or whatever, like, and when I watch all that, I am like doing heel kicks because I'm so proud of them for that. And I see even the
Yeah.
world's best, like Gary Vee and stuff, like they just carry on like pork chops. Grant Cardone did
Yeah.
the worst video that, in my opinion, as a mother the other night, but he got millions of views, and he does that because he needs attention, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like
Yeah.
applause. Whereas when I have to do it, it's like, hang on, something's in my brain telling me otherwise. So I think there is,
So how much of that
you've got to push the
yeah.
boundaries.
How much of the not pushing the boundaries and that playing it safe comes back to not believing in yourself and doubting yourself?
All of it. All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's the same reason why people don't want to do live videos. And it's the same reason why people, they don't like what they look like or how they sound, and like, I'm not sure about you, Matt, but I've been there. I used to, when my face and noise used to come on, like my sound voice used to come on the TV or even on someone's phone next to me, I would run. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Now, I
Yeah,
don't
I remember.
care. Now it's fine. So it's like, it's a journey, right? Like we're going on a journey. Everyone does. And
Yeah.
I've gotten over the fear of the sound of my own voice and the fear of what I look like on video to a certain extent. Like I still don't, like you notice how like I always do headshots? Like I don't like the rest of me yet. Get there. Although today I did a video with the rest of me, with John and Emma.
Oh, interesting.
So,
You said that. So what are we doing for the next week on the 30-day Go Live Challenge?
oh, okay. We'll work on that.
Full body videos by the sounds of it.
Yeah, yeah.
We can
Yeah.
join Valerie in her videoing exercising every day.
Oh, what's she doing?
She videos herself doing yoga and exercises every day.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen others do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria
Roll it
as well.
out.
So
Yeah.
how then, well, what were the processes that you went through that you can remember in getting that self-belief and building up that self-belief? And what was this, and
Yeah.
for you,
To
what
the
was the
point that
time?
I'm at now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so for me, it was just like a fuck it moment. Like you just gotta press record and you just gotta go for it. And I was thinking about, because I'd watched other people's journeys and where they had started and then where they were at the time that I wanted to start. And yeah, it was, and in fact, it sort of started before then actually, because about 2.5 years ago, I ran as a candidate in a political campaign, which doesn't really help my brain in terms of being judged and things, because you've got this people need to like me mentality. But at the time, I literally had 6 weeks to try and convince 4,000 people to vote for me, and they didn't know who I was, even though I'd been around a long time. So I had no choice. It was like do it or don't even worry about, like, do the live videos often, or don't even worry about campaigning in the first place, because you got no chance. So that kind of is what started it. But then I continued. But then after that, after the campaign, I was like, I don't want to do live videos anymore. So I stopped for ages. And then I got to the point where I was like watching everybody else going, if I want to be half a chance at being successful, I'm here preaching to everybody else about doing it. Get out of your own way and go and do it yourself. So yeah, and I've been doing it now for I don't know, like over a year, actively, nearly every day. The last 6 days has been every day, but yeah. So, and I think it's practice. Like, you end up getting to that point. I used to
strengthening that muscle.
Yes, that's all it is. Like, I remember going into, John and I do a fortnightly radio segment, and I remember going into the station just freaking like your guts is just churned up because you're so nervous about screwing up, and everyone's listening and blah blah blah. Like, I don't even get that anymore. Half the time we don't even know what we're going to talk about before we get there, and even silly things like a couple of weeks ago, John threw a question to me and I wasn't even bloody listening. And I'm like, oh, hang on, I just got distracted. I got no idea what he said. And he had to go and save me. And normally I would be like, oh, I fucked up. And, you just die about that. Whereas I didn't. Yeah. And I'm still here and it's fine. Now I can talk about it. It's a funny story.
So when you did finally open up like that, how amazing and how crazy is it how people actually are attracted more so to all the things that we were scared of and you were scared of? Do you recognize that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do. Trying to think of it like in a social setting, because that for me, like live videos was just like the next step, but in a social setting, before social media and before all of us sitting around our mobile phones, like I feel like I had heaps of practice to be in environments where I just had to be the test case for myself, if that makes sense. Like I had to, I don't know, I'm not trying to think of how to describe this.
You done anything recently?
Yeah, actually. Okay, so recently.
Authentic.
Recently. I know, you're killing me. You are so killing me. I can't do this. I just did a video before about how we're going to turn our can'ts into cans. All right. No, so, okay. Oh my gosh, you are killing me. You said you were going to do this to me. All right. So, so the last couple of, probably the weekend just gone, my kids have gone away for a couple of weeks. So I decided to go out with some friends and hang out, just enjoy life for a little bit. And I used the excuse to go out and give myself permission to go out and have a good time by saying I was going to do some market research. So my market research was all around how you interact with one another. And I just wanted to test out how, like, if I still, after many years and being a parent as well, still had the ability to attract attention offline as well as online. So we did this, and I drew her, go, John, go away. He's still commenting. It's too funny. So we went to this pub, and I hadn't told my friends before I was there that I was doing this market research. And when we got there, I did share it with them, which is pretty funny. But then, so I started to, like, the first thing we did was we talked about this strategy that I've got, and I've used this for years, about high tables. And I've posted it before about these high tables, which is basically making sure that when you're out and about, you sit at high tables, because that's eye level with people when they walk past. So, because it's really awkward to be like, if someone wants to come up to you and talk to you, they're not going to go and lean over if you're sitting down low. So my friends and I were joking about this first. So, but the reason why I was starting this conversation was I was reminiscing with my friends so that we could all have some fun and look like we were having an awesome time, because your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And we were talking about, okay, we've got this high table, there's sort of a little bit of space at the end, and even if there wasn't, because people were coming and going, and we're like, how long is it going to take before we get some attraction? We get some, of our own vibe that comes over. And it literally wasn't long at all. Had people buzzing around everywhere, all wanting to chat to us. And I was just started to document. So I was actually videoing people chatting about
Such a weirdo.
And I was asking him questions. What? I'm a weirdo.
Such a weirdo. He's in the corner.
And they totally loved it. No, I was
Okay.
open. I said, right, I'm doing some market research. You know, talk to me. Why did you come and talk to us? Like, what made you come over here? And my men, yes, men. Actually, not just men. There was women that came up to us as well. And then the men
Absolutely.
were encouraging more women to come. And we ended up with, like, throughout the evening, just all this different. I mean, you meet so many new people just by asking if they want to be part of market research. And that was just one example. Like, I use heaps of examples.
That you get a lot of
To get
attention if you open up and confidently approach people. If you're open to that, like that, are you wanting to do market research? That's just a pickup line, essentially.
Yeah, but my point is,
Pick
you've got
up
to
a
get to the
conversation.
first stage. Yeah, I'm curving again. Oh, am I? No, I'm not. I haven't got to that bit yet.
Well, okay. So before we go further with that, let's just go back a little bit. And what more inspired you to go there and do that in the first place? As far as that fear of, or that unknown about being able to go and have that same impact you're having online, offline as well. Because we're talking a lot about videos, because that's what we're doing. But there is a lot of people that are not in this space that are wondering as well, like that differentiation between authenticity and professionalism out in the real world, or out face to face with people. So for you, what was that deeper fear or uncertainty around the offline space?
The deeper fear. Well, I didn't have a fear. I had stuff holding me back. Like, what was holding me back? I'm not sure now.
If you didn't know what was it?
Huh?
If you didn't
What
know
did you
what
say
it
that I know what you... Okay. So what you're asking me, I'm just going to try and clarify what you're actually asking me. You're asking me what was holding me back from going out and like experimenting socially offline? Is that what you mean?
No. So what made
cool,
you
because I was
feel
like,
like
no,
there was, yeah, what made you feel like you potentially weren't able to connect offline as well as you were online?
no, I never had that feeling. I've always felt like I could connect really well offline. For
Okay.
me,
So you
yeah,
just
for
wanted some
me,
more.
yeah, I just wanted some fun. Like, because I've been a mother for 8.5 years, and when you're a mum, you don't go out as much as you did when you weren't a mum. Does that make sense?
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then is the way you were expressing yourself when you were at the bar, open, enthusiastic, happy, was that, would you say that was over authentic, or was it just putting on a
for me it
persona?
was. No, for me it was. Yeah, for me. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Like
Did you try the other way around? Did you try and try not being as authentic, being more professional? Like, did you just try the one approach?
When I was out and about.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point. Not this weekend just gone. I was just, full free, authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more weekends.
Might try that this weekend though. I need some more market research, so that's good.
Are you more authentic offline or
try and be professional?
Yeah.
To test it.
Online?
To test it, yeah.
Did you see Sam's question? So are you most authentic offline and professional online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
So what needs to happen for you to be able to be that way, the way you're offline with people and in the one-on-one messages, what needs to happen for you to feel comfortable doing that online?
That's a really good question too. What needs to happen? I think I just have to do it. Like, I don't
Just have to
I
do
think
it.
I needed to come onto the Daily B and have Matt drill me with all this, and everyone else, like Sam and John and Emma. Oh my gosh, you guys are just all,
Yeah.
sending me you're like kicking my ass with love. It's very nice.
So what are you scared of putting out there online, or what have you been scared of or fearful of putting out there online that you do offline? What sort of topics, or what sort of ways of being, or like swearing, or what things?
Yeah, like, yeah,
Really
there's
make
the
your arsehole
swearing, there's the swearing, there's it's, you know, like what I talk about in my friendship groups, like, you know, being really inappropriate, and
In what way?
no, he's gone back to drilling me again. Okay, so in what way? So I have a very dirty mind, and everything that someone says, I tend to turn it around and go, oh my gosh, that's, you know, X, whatever it might be. So I'm like that offline, and I'm like that one-to-one or in smaller groups, with those that I feel like accept that kind of, those kind of thoughts and behavior, if you like. Whereas online, I've got a much larger network, and I feel like they might judge me. Jane, no kidding.
Is it?
Jane, I never thought you were the judging one, that's for sure.
So there's 6 or 7 people on here live at the moment, and anyone watching the replay.
Okay.
Is there anyone here, honestly, where you're watching a video about authenticity, is there anyone that doesn't have a filthy mind? I just want to see. And if you do have a filthy mind, write a 1 in just to show us. If you don't have a filthy mind, write a 2. So 1 for a filthy mind, 2 for a ridiculously clean, unfilthy mind. I think your biggest filter is the strength. You're always making things sound peachy. Usually you would say things like, what the fuck? Social media peeps don't judge you. No. Filthy minds unite. Yeah. Fuck what? Yes. 2. Whatever, John. Okay, so John's just full of shit. Not being authentic at all.
What is John's offended by me. We're in trouble now.
John's got a clean mind.
I've
seen all the. I've seen all the screens at John's place. They're not all business.
What did you say? You saw the screens that he has in his office?
Yeah.
And he's got a top drawer as well. In the top drawer is probably all sorts of weird stuff.
I have that mind as well. It can be inappropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joppa gives you full of shit. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so maybe I just
do you have a dirty joke you can tell us?
Live on the. Oh, dirty joke. I don't really do jokes.
Really?
Hang on,
I'll do anyone.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, yes, you probably do or would. I'm just trying to think of something. Okay, I'm trying to think of something that's not a joke, because I don't really do jokes. It just has to. It's in the moment stuff. Like, it's literally in the moment.
No. Dick fell in the mud.
Dick fell in the mud. Oh my god.
All right. So we were. Well, can we talk about the book that we were contemplating?
Oh my god, you're killing me now. I need to go and delete him on Facebook.
Fuck him. So literally, right? My perspective is,
the book. Yep.
Yeah, our biggest growth has come from our challenges in life and the mistakes we made and the pains that we've gone through. And so it's not our job to wrap everyone in cotton wool and to make them feel okay and to stop them from having challenges. So we're actually doing people a favor by triggering them and challenging them and creating tension in their life, because that tension seeks release. Yeah. And so if people can't deal with the shit, well then that's that. Now, so the book. So we have this concept which has been spread around. I don't know how many people you've spoken about it, but I've spoken to a fair few, and starting to drum up some stories. And essentially what it is, it's a collaboration between a lot of people putting in short stories about filthy experiences that they've had, which they've embraced their sexuality and opened up and just loved themselves and loved whoever and whatever was around in the moment, and just sharing how how beautiful sexuality is, how open we actually all are when it comes to closing the doors, and yeah, just sharing dirty, filthy, sexy, awesome stories, and letting everyone know that if you do love to fuck, you're not a slut. If you do sleep around, you're not a stud. You're not a womanizer, and you can do it all from a space of love. You can do it all from a space of wanting to give and wanting to take, and that's okay. So yeah, it was and everyone that I've spoken to has just jumps into 2 or 3 stories straight away. Like
I know everyone does have a story, or 10 or 50. What and because when we spoke about it, like I know Emma and John and Bryce, I can't even. It's too funny. And it's funny because when you and I were chatting about this book, we were arguing about the title, and we ended up, didn't we agree that we'd end up with one of those books that on the back was, you know, how you flip it upside down? Because I wanted a particular title and you did. And I'm trying to remember what my freaking title was. Like I had a few, but
Jane, awesome. Knickers. Yeah, Stinky Knickers, isn't it?
Stinky Knickers? Was it? No.
Was that it?
Stinky Knickers?
Something like that.
I've come up with it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna refine that. No, it wasn't nasty knickers. It was something even more revolting than that. It wasn't stinky. That's not revolting enough.
Crusty knickers.
Yeah, it wasn't that either. Moisty knickers. It wasn't that, but that came to my mind. Yes, but you're right, because we were talking about how it would be, like everyone, we have our own stories to share, but there'd be heaps of others as well.
So let's paint a picture, right? We talk about being filthy, loving to fuck, having a dirty mind, dropping F-bombs, C-bombs, whatever bombs you want, and just, I don't know, like, other than, like, sex is something that is the main thing that's inappropriate, other than, like, you're not going to go out and be a bigot or racist or actually evoking hate towards anyone. So it's got nothing to do with that. It's got to do with...
No.
Actually, no, this is where I think it is leading to, the sexuality. I think it's where everyone's choked up. Everyone's suppressing their sexual energy, their sexual tension, and their sexual expression. And it doesn't mean going out, getting naked and fucking everyone, or just swinging your dick around or getting your tits out for the boys. But it's about just openly expressing, like, I think you're fucking sexy. I'm horny right now. This is how I'm feeling. And just being and doing who you are, and not needing to really box it in and suppress it. And since I've been abstaining for the last 2 months, this is something where it's given me this license to be free, in a sense. And with my sexuality, I've been able to flirt and be filthy and fun and raunchy and funny and creative and connected with all the people, guys, girls, and everyone in between, because there's been zero energy towards any motive. And because that hasn't been there, even though the other person I'm interacting with may not know that, the energy that I'm giving off is just simply one of authenticity and fucking a lot of energy, because there's a lot of energy built up there too. But it's been a really amazing example for me of how to express myself openly and embody my sexuality and allow that to flow on to other people, metaphorically speaking, until next month. When we're sticking people to the moon.
Oh God, look out. Be afraid.
Sounds like marriage, John. You need to take me out to dinner first, mate. No, and I don't.
Oh my God. Fun and
I
flirty.
do blush. When I blush, I go fucking red.
Yeah, you're blushing.
It's hilarious. Yeah. Let's get embarrassed sometimes.
Yeah, and I find it fascinating that you can even be on that abstinence journey. Like, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny getting everyone into these challenges, because it's like, what I noticed with Mum first, but you're the same, and a few other people, it's like, no, I'm not doing a 30-day go live challenge. And then they're like, okay, well, how about you do cold showers then? Oh, well, you've frozen in a really weird, okay, you're back. And so it's, they'll be like, all right, I'm not doing the go live challenge. and then I'd say, all right, well, go do the cold shower challenge then. And like, oh, no, I'll do the 30-day one. It's like, okay. And now you're like, oh, I'm not going to do the abstaining. I'm not going to abstain. So I'll go, I've got to think of something worse than abstaining to get people to do that. And then it's just like leapfrogging down.
I've got one
funny
for
to get
you,
people
and
to
I've
do all sorts of
shared that
funky
video
shit.
with you. I've got
The salt
something
water.
worse than abstaining. Yeah, salt water. Like, I need to go and share that
You
video.
did that. You reckon that's worse than abstaining? Well, you did the water,
Actually,
so.
no, I'm not doing it.
This is all right. So, are we going to share
Not
a dirty
yet.
story that's going to go into the book?
Oh, I've got to think of one because I've got heaps. I want to share one that's good.
They're all good. Well, for a man that hasn't touched himself for 2 months, they're all good anyway. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
So, I'll see, some of them are funny and some of them are dirty and some of them are just, I don't know. They're my stories. Like, I mean, everyone's got a story.
Actually, let's pivot a little bit, and I want to talk about. I'm sort of taking us through the daily B, right? So believing in ourselves. We started with. We've been speaking about expressing ourselves authentically, which you guys will see more of, no doubt, after this. Well, from us too, anyway, and I'm sure you 9 or 10 and anyone else that jumps on as well. But I want to move into the evolution or the growth and the learning and education for a moment, because I feel like someone that's stepping into coaching, already what you guys have seen is me split up my my content. So I've got my personal page, which I'm going to start doing less heavy content. I've got my groups that sort of gradually step their way down into more and more deeper content and more action and participation. But I feel like there is sort of one of the things I've noticed going through my own sort of journey of education, evolution, and growth has been that I needed to stifle myself in circles of people who weren't at that level for me. And so I feel like sometimes I've settled it now, but I have the questions come to me where people say, I don't feel like I can be myself around my friends anymore, or I don't like having surface level conversations talking about bullshit. I just want to have deep conversations, and people struggle with being authentic in those social settings when they actually start, especially when they start to do the inner work with themselves and start to grow, or even when they pivot and they maybe take on a new career or a new hobby and their old crew aren't at that same level. So there's that crossover period of how do I be authentic in all circles. But is that something that you've sort of noticed, because you've jumped around from a few different careers, you've taken on a few different paths, and now you're on this new path as well? Like, is that something you can relate to, and how did you sort of deal with it?
Yeah, definitely. And how I dealt with it, probably better and better every time. And I'm sure that the next time I go through my own growth, I'll deal with it better again. But it's really interesting, because it's like this. You're torn between, okay, I want to have good relationships or good conversations with people. So you choose to hang around those kind of people, but then you want to be accepting of the people you've already got in your life, because to grow, you've got to like accept and like what you're doing yourself. But then when I think I'm probably touching into too many subjects in one sort of sentence, but I'm trying to get the point of like my experience has been like when I've like I basically cut people out of my life. That was the crux of it. In the past, when I got to a point where
did you actively cut them out?
Yes. So actively cut them out of my
Okay.
life and not straight away. Like this takes time to get to this point, but but then at the same time, I've also got like really loyal connections with people, both professionally and personally, and everything that I've kept. But I guess my inner circle of, you know, a small group, if in the past they didn't fit that feel good, then I would cut them and I'd move on and I'd stick closer to the ones that were feeling good.
Is that still your pattern? Is that still something you do?
Yes, I do still do that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So it's like this, but where I say I move away, a lot of the time I cut them not just because of the feeling and the conversations I'm having, but because there's this balance between when does it become toxic, and when it becomes toxic, in my opinion, that's when you're like, okay, don't be around people like that because it's toxic. It gets you down. So that's where I cut them, if that makes sense. Like it's like abuse, like letting yourself,
How frequently does
you know,
this
cop
happen?
that.
Approximately.
How frequently? Not very.
Yeah.
Like, you know, 3 or 4 times in my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
not like, it's not like a common occurrence in that space. But also, I'm jumping around a bit. This is quite funny. Jumping around a bit.
Let it
I
flow.
was thinking about the whole conversation, and you know, when you do change careers or you do start to work on different things and education and stuff and growth, the conversation goes from, you know, how's the weather to something more deep. And I was just thinking about that. And yeah, that happens a lot, but I think the more authentic you are in those moments, the more you can dig a bit deeper, and I usually turn it around to something dirty.
Yeah. So this has been another thing that's been coming up with a lot of people around me, and the first thing I always go to when when people tell me they've got toxic people in their life is they're essentially talking about themselves. Like there's an aspect of themselves that is toxic, that they're owning. They haven't learned to hold up that mirror, which is essentially what those toxic people are doing. The toxic people are showing up in our life to show us that aspect of ourselves to own and evolve beyond that point. So that's the first thing that comes up for me. So for those, yeah, well, that's just the first thing that comes up. And then beyond that, though, as well, is when we start to grow beyond that toxicity, when we start to actually embrace and own that aspect of ourselves that has chosen for these people to be there, there's actually a very organic and effortless process I've found, and continue to see evidence time and time again about this, where people just effortlessly drop away and they go off and into their own space because their vibe isn't aligned. The vibrations are not aligned anymore. And so it's like a great example that I use is when 2 people come into a room. One, like you might be hanging out and someone comes in and they're really mopey and sad, and then everyone's mood just goes vroom in the whole room. Or in the opposite is someone comes in and they're like full of energy, enthusiastic, and everyone's mood just goes up and lifts them. And that's just this unconscious sort of behavior. Like wherever the vibe is, like there's always this alignment that balances out. But when we are conscious and aware of what's going on, we can actually step into a room and we can maintain our own level of vibration. We can maintain our own sort of our own space, and we can bring people up to our level or people down to our level, whatever we want to do, once we're conscious of that. So the most powerful energy wins, and essentially that's what's going on in life around is when we stop looking outside and blaming the toxic people for fucking up our lives and looking outside of us, then and this is what you've been doing so fucking intensely, and it's been amazing to watch your journey over the last little while, is just embrace yourself and own what's going on and really hold up that mirror so brutally honest and just make that your everything, is to be completely honest and authentic with yourself. And that's really good that this is where it's come full circle, is having that level of authenticity with ourselves more than anyone else. Because essentially if we're struggling with authenticity outside of us, it's just there's something not aligned with ourselves. And so to see that and to go through that process of growth from that point, that's when I've noticed anyway that the toxicity just is no more. And I think you can attest to this as well. It's like somebody may be showing up and I go, okay, this person's toxic. I go do the inner work. I go, where is this toxicity within myself? How can I own it, love it, embrace it, accept it, and transform that aspect of myself to grow to the next level? That person comes into my awareness again. All of a sudden, that person's no longer toxic. They're doing the same thing. They're saying the same words. Got the same fucking look on their face. But all of a sudden, this person's no longer toxic anymore. Can you
I can attest to
shed some
that.
of your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to say, and I'm sure you know this, Matt, that's what you're saying is not as easy as you make it sound. Like when you're, and you know this, when you're living,
it's not.
And for me, I needed and still do need other good people around me to keep reminding me of that. And that's why, that's why I talk to you all the time, Matt, because you do that. You help me with that, reminding me of the freaking mirror, and that those people in my life aren't out to get me. And that, it's me being tested, and I've got to talk to myself, which is also why I find, like, even just then when I was trying to describe how I was feeling, I was freaking all over the place because I'm trying to work out in my head, okay, what does this actually mean? I'm starting to look and blame something else, and then I got to go, hang on, no, mirror, am I blaming myself? And so then it comes out all like jumbled for a while, and that's how I feel like I am at the moment. But it's also, compared to the way I was, say 12 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever time frame you choose, it's a huge shift. Like, it's that full responsibility. And then you're right, I think they do just go away. They just, rather than having the hard conversations, which is what I have done in the past, actively.
Okay. Can I ask, would you say that they go away or the toxicity goes away?
Yeah, that's a good point. Hang on a sec. It's a really good point.
It can be
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll let you know. Because at the moment, not sure. I think there's still stuff that I've got to work on with that. Which is, again, why I say I need these people around me. Like, don't.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do a really quick process, right? What is the opposite of, you think of a toxic person, or someone that's triggering that toxicity within yourself, right? What is the opposite of toxic to you?
The opposite of toxic is acceptance to me.
Acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So universal law of polarity says that there's always a pole. You can't clap with one hand, right? You only have a right hand because there's a left hand. There's an up because there's a down. There's a hot because there's a cold. It's the one energy expressed two different ways. Over here, we've got toxicity. Over here, we've got acceptance. We can't see where on that pole toxicity starts and ends and acceptance starts and ends. Yeah. So it is just that one. And while we're looking at this toxic person, or this toxicity, it's like if I say, don't think of a black cat. Well, it's just what we resist keeps persisting. Yeah. And so with that resistance, with that toxicity there that we keep looking at, it's actually here as our lesson and as our journey of evolution to teach us. It's all pointing back at ourselves, to teach us to love ourselves, right? Because, as you know, you're whole and complete. You do have the capacity within you to be everything, and you are everything. So this aspect of toxicity that we're resisting, we're saying, no, I don't want that. That's not good. I'm not that, and it's bad, right? So it keeps fucking coming up in our lives. It keeps persisting. We keep getting the cycles, and this is for any cycle that keeps coming up in our life.
Yeah, totally.
And so when we can extrapolate the lessons from this, which we've done together before as well in other areas, you can take those lessons and there'll be a click, which is basically there's a neuro in our brain, which is like this pathway that's been a belief system there for a really long time. We kept walking and walking and walking and making stronger and stronger. But when we recognize all the things that this toxicity and these toxic people have actually been there to help us grow and strengthen and learn from and benefit us, we balance that out, right? That equilibrium happens. It's never about getting rid of the toxicity, because it is a part of us. We are toxic. I'm a toxic person. I have the capacity to be toxic, and I love that aspect of myself. And when it's balanced, then it's harmonized, then you get to this point of love and gratitude and acceptance, and we don't need to witness and experience the toxicity anymore, because there is acceptance, which has been there the whole time. So it's fucking magical when you just, because I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that I don't want negativity in my life. I don't want toxic people in my life. I don't want fear. I don't want insecurities. But it's like, we've got the dark and the light within us. We've all got a shadow side, and it's about loving the whole entire of the spectrum, not fucking bits off here and there, but owning it and then balancing it out, which is fucking full on. And the point of all this, what I'm getting back to on this big rant, is that and this is getting a little bit deep, is that I've read the Sin Sing Ming, which you can see on my stuff as well. The Sin Sing Ming talks about, it's like this old Zen proverb talking about the trusting in the path, trusting in the way, trusting in the unity of all things, and how the illusion of likes and dislikes, the illusion of holding and pushing away, gives rise to all these insecurities, to all this disharmony, to all the troubles and pains. And so to what I've found anyway on my journey is the most authentic, the authentic moments that I have are when I'm in that full acceptance and not defining things the way we've been brought up to define things, which is good or bad, happy or sad, up or down. And that is a fucking epic journey to go through. And I mean, I know I've practiced a long time and worked really hard on even being able to articulate a sentence around this shit, which is
and that was my point. I think that everyone's on this journey to, like, in different stages, and I'm talking like the journey of life, like, and you can't do it by yourself. So, but then you need to be able to, I don't know, I think that's why the 30-day Go Life Challenge is so good, because you got people in there that just accept you, but also call you out as well, but then accept you and love you again. Like, it's a really cool space. But there's other spaces that are like that. But
100%. So, rapid fire question time.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Go.
So I've got 5 questions. Hang on. I actually haven't got them. I've got to think of them. So give me 1 second. I'm ill prepared. I've got 1 question. Okay. Tell me, just while I'm writing a couple down, tell me a few of the things that you have recognized work for you with regards to actually opening up and being authentic, online or offline.
So a few of the things that worked for me. Is it a what?
Yeah. Well, actually, a few of the things that you've noticed, like return, a bit of the feedback that you've received when you've actually stood out and been your authentic self in those moments where you weren't sure if you should or not.
Oh, like,
so I think that's
epic.
That's a game changer. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the funny thing about our brains, that I've got all the evidence and all the proof that every time I think, oh, I don't really want to post this, or I don't want to say this when I'm speaking to somebody, every time I think that in my head and then I do it anyway, it's epic. And people, like, if I think about my online, you know, the views go through the roof and the comments go through the roof, and it's all this, you know, awesome admiration, if you like. And the same when I'm in a social setting or one-to-one, like face-to-face. So and I even, this is how funny my brain works, I even posted a video about how, and giving other people advice how to post online by basically preparing something, whether it's a video or a bit of words or something, and then just going 3, 2, 1, press. And yet it's, you know, up until now, I'm like, oh, should I please post that on? Should I swear? Should I? Yeah, hilarious, right?
Love it. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay. And I'll do them quick because it's rapid, I understand.
Yeah, rapid. Okay. Do I have a timer? No, I don't have a timer. All right, I'm going to get a timer clock up here. Bloop, bloop. So, question number 1, favorite sex position?
Oh, you are killing me. Me on top.
Boom. Biggest fear?
Fear is
Not very
judgment.
rapid.
I know.
Judgment?
Sorry, judgment. Yeah.
That's that. No sorries. No sorries on this show.
Oh, yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Your bitchiest friend?
Oh my God. Bitchiest friend.
She needs to hear it,
bitchiest.
or he needs to hear it.
Yeah. I don't really have a bitchy friend. Bitchy.
All the ones that
Remember,
are
I got rid of all those ones. Yeah, I got rid of them all.
Good answer.
Pass.
Sexiest work colleague?
Sexiest work colleague? Oh, Emma. Fuck. She's hot.
Emma.
And I'm actually not into girls, but she's down.
But if she lays down the gauntlet, every option's an option. Why do people love MC? And why do people want to work with MC, and why do they love you?
Why do they love me?
Yeah.
Okay. So they love me because I'm accepting, playful, in other words, dirty. And I tend to look at things in a really different way to most people.
Yeah. You are all of those things. And you edify people. You make people feel like they are absolutely valued, like they are loved, like they're appreciated. You're inclusive, right? You really draw out the best in people, and you're great at what you do as well. Like, you inspire people with your energy. You inspire people with the tenacity at which you.
I'm liking this feedback,
action.
by the way.
Yeah,
I need the feedback. I like it.
This is this is what I see anyway, and I think that's a massive one, is the fact that you're just out there taking action and pushing so many other people to step up and be their best self. And that's what I'm noticing with what I'm doing as well, is it doesn't take much to push someone into taking action, but as soon as you do that for people, it's fucking crazy how, like, I feel like I've got so much love for you for getting me into so much action, and always challenging me and pushing me into that space. So yeah, just your inclusiveness, your acceptance, the vigor at which you are doing what you're doing is epic. So I'm grateful for you.
Yeah, and you've got some outstanding tasks, by the way, that you need to get onto. And I say that with love.
Yes, I do. Good.
Mm-hmm. Go on, get it done. Just want you to succeed. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Well, thank you for all those nice things. And I think I agree with you. Like, I am all those things. Bloody oath I am. Yeah. And Bryce, you're going to get banned from the love button again, mate. He's a love button guy.
I know. I was going to say, can we take a moment to appreciate Bryce and his calloused thumb, because from pressing the love heart so many times, he is going to get banned from Facebook again. I know. So guys, like Daily B Show is now on the Daily B Show is now on the Matt Banks Tribe, for those that are watching it on another platform or someone else's page, and jump onto the 30-day Go Live Challenge, which I'll put a link in the bio as well, and step out from behind your veil, behind your insecurities, and join us on the 30-day Go Live Challenge. A little hint: it's got nothing to do with the 30 days, and it's got nothing to do with the challenge and the videos. Everything to do with what's going on in here. Any last messages, MC?
Totally. Yeah, Emma said she means take your shirt off. Do you know, Matt, when I first did oh my gosh, Sam.
Yeah.
When I first did the
Your turn.
a live with you, it was ages ago. It was so funny. My girlfriend's like, "Oh, it was such a good live. Like, I don't get to watch many of yours, but I watched that one." I was like, "Oh, thanks, yeah." And they were like, "Oh, we just couldn't keep our eyes off Matt." And I was like, "Oh, didn't even watch it for me." I was so devastated, and I was like, "Well, I'm not speaking to him again. He's taking my friends away from me." So pretty funny. I was
Because I'm
joking.
cute.
Bryce, turn the love button off. So funny.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. MC, we'll chat very soon. Mwah.
Thanks, everyone. Bye, Maddie. Be good.
Bye.